Adam?
Hey, I'm doing great, John. How about yourself, man?
I'm doing wonderful. We made it to hump day. I had a great workout this morning. I still haven't showered yet, but I'm doing okay. Your morning off to a good start?
Yeah, so far so good. I'm an hour behind you here in Wisconsin, so I've always got the red eye, I think, when I come on here on Wednesdays.
Hour? What time is it? I mean, you sleep in every day? I was up this morning at 5:10 getting after it, brother.
Yeah, I mean it's 6:30 and we're starting the Facebook Live here, so
It's all good, all good. Okay, let's jump into it. I'm excited for a topic today, and I think it's going to be a topic that people can respond to. Virtual wholesaling or virtual real estate investing. How do you close deals virtually? Before we get into the nitty gritty, let's just talk 30,000 foot view. What is different? What is unique? What is special about closing deals virtually, Adam?
yeah, closing deals virtually. So essentially, it used to be the norm where you typically wholesale local. You're able to meet all your qualified leads and meet them either at their house, a coffee shop, and so forth. And building rapport was like super huge when it came to the traditional, local meetup and trying to close the deal that way. You could bring the paper contract with you, just fill it out as you go, as far as like the price and the name and so forth of the person, and be able to close them right on the spot. And that's definitely not the case virtually. There's technology issues, and then there's you don't spend as much time on rapport. And when you do spend the time on rapport, it's really good that you have good communication skills during that little bit of time that you have with the qualified lead as well. So that's really the biggest thing, is not being able to see the people in person and not spending as much time on the rapport as you'd like to spend on the rapport building.
Okay, so traditionally, an acquisition manager like yourself would sit, face to face with a homeowner or seller, and they'd say, "Hey, here's the situation. Do you want to sell me your house?" And now you're doing that. Is it all over the phone? Do you do Skype, Zoom? How does that work now?
Yeah, right now I've never had to meet someone over Zoom or anything like that. I really try to build credibility through our social media platforms, our website now, and I send them an email with all the links, and that's always been enough so far to overcome that hurdle of credibility. So that's how I get over the face-to-face aspect of it and the fear there.
Okay.
So right now it's all text message and phone call as far as like the real communication as far as rapport goes.
So your job is from qualified lead to sign contract, and that's what our video is about today. Qualified lead to sign contract. So first, what do you consider a qualified lead? Because I think a lot of different people define that in different ways, right? So what is a qualified lead to you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so in our company, qualified lead is, do you own the home? Do you want to sell the home? Do you want to sell the home under value, or at least understand like we will give you an offer under fair or under market value? And then the fourth is, do you want us to talk to my manager about all this? And as long as they meet that criteria, they're considered a qualified lead. We have a further vetting process with my acquisition specialist, and she's able to comb over some of the details and find out if they're truly motivated. And then at that point, I'm able to talk to the qualified lead.
So we've got virtual assistants going from it's a virtual assistant's job in our process then to bring you qualified leads. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So they deliver you a qualified lead, and say those factors that make it a qualified lead for us again. What are they exactly?
Yeah. Do you own the home? Do you want to sell the home? Do you understand like we will give you an offer under market value? And then do you want to talk to my acquisition manager?
Okay, so then they deliver this amazing qualified lead to you. Then then what happens?
Yeah, then at that point, I'm doing my homework on the property. I'm jumping on the prop stream. I'm trying to find the comps of it. I go to Zillow. I try to look for any kind of like pictures or anything of that nature on the property. And then I'm just checking over the notes. Our VAs, our lead specialist and acquisition specialist, they do a great job at taking really copious notes on, things I can use during my discussion with the seller. So I'm just reviewing all that. I want to know, what is my max allowable offer I can give on that property, and then I make the phone call.
Awesome. So when you get that qualified lead and you have to do your homework, as you say, is that a 1 minute process, 10-minute process, hour process? How do you think about that? How much prep do you have to do before that phone call?
Yeah, well, if it's my first phone call, I'm taking a little bit more prep. I'm grabbing my coffee, grabbing my Diet Coke, depending on what time of the day it is, and cracking the knuckles. And then, but really, it takes about, I would say, like 5 to 10 minutes initially to comp the property, comb over the notes. Once the property is comped, and let's just say it's like the second time I'm trying to call them, it's super quick. It's just referencing the notes when I last called them and so forth, and giving them the phone call.
Gotcha. So when you call, do you just go into that call blindly, or do you have something that guides you? I'm setting you up for a quick internal sale here.
Yeah, no, that's great that you asked. So we do have a script. I'm not much of a script person, but it definitely keeps me in line. Like, hey, this is where we build up motivation. This is where we build rapport. This is where, we check their motivation, or we check their close. So we definitely use a script as I'm talking to the sellers. But of course, I fit that script to each individual call.
Gotcha. And could someone get a copy of your script if they were so interested?
Yeah, absolutely. We promote the script on all our social medias. You can check it out in the link on my Instagram handle specifically. There's going to be a link there, and it's going to be our cold calling script.
Excellent. And please, if you're enjoying this, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff for us. We've got a couple comments. Alicia, Adam's better half, gives us a great good morning. And then we've got another person. I can't tell who it is, but you said Diet Coke and they said Mountain Dew. You get after some Mountain Dew or what?
No, I dropped Mountain Dew probably 10 years ago. And I switched over to Coke, and then it switched over to Diet Coke as I aged. So
nice. I like it. Okay. So one thing I want to cover is you get a qualified lead. You do your 5 to 10 minutes worth of homework. You're ready to get after it. And then you call the seller, and the seller doesn't pick up. What do you do? And I want you to talk through your process of how do you get in contact with this person, because as we both know, like, it can be challenging, and I think it can be very challenging. And if someone's listening to this, they're like, hey, I did this process, but I wasn't able to get a hold of that person, and then they might stop. So how would you talk through that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first, we do have our VAs. They take down the best time block in order to call the seller, whether it's the morning, afternoon, or evening. Those are our time blocks that we have currently set up. So I am calling them during their proper requested time block where I can reach them, most likely to reach them. But if I don't, I send them a text message right away saying, hey, this is Adam. My lead specialist just tried to reach out to you, or my assistant Sarah just tried to reach out to you. I'm trying to give you a call about, the house on, whatever street. And then I send them, I've started in the past like 2 to 3 weeks now, I've started sending them an email as well, and really just trying to hit hit them on all fronts in order to get their attention and kind of just be like really persistent on that phone call.
Gotcha. So what percentage of the time do you call and the seller picks up right away? Right. And like, all right, yeah, let's start the script. And then what percentage of time do you have to, we'll call it like hustle, right? Like try some other means to get a hold of this person.
Man, the percentage, I'd say like 9 times out of 10, they don't pick up, right? We have I use the same phone number no matter where I'm calling. It's just the phone number that's assigned to me, which is great. Because it's really easy to get a hold of them after the first contact. But yeah, I would say like 9 times out of 10, and that's really how that's why you have to hustle it. Like you can use the stalker method. You call them once, it goes right to voicemail. Don't leave a voicemail, just hang up and call them right back. And if it does go to voicemail at that point, you can, leave them a message. But yeah, like that method works quite a bit too, because iPhones have the feature where if it doesn't know the number, it'll just automatically push it over to voicemail. And if you call right back again, it actually rings for that phone.
Nice. And then some people like to do the double call, text message, triple call, double text message, email. I think there's a lot of different ways to go about it, but how do you stay motivated when you do your 10 minutes of homework, you call and they don't answer? Then you do 10 more minutes of homework on a different property and you call and they don't answer. And like you were all geeked up to talk to 4 or 5 sellers. And before you know it, you've spent an hour and you've talked to no one.
Yeah, dude, it's super tough in sales. Like it's that roller coaster of like emotion, and you want to check in every day and do your job. And as a salesperson, if I'm not talking to people, I don't feel completed. Like I'm doing my job. So it's challenging, but one of our core values in our company is hustle. And I think that really does get me through those, like all those no's or the rejections or don't answering the phone and so forth, and just going after the next one with the same intensity that you may have had on your first couple, homework drills and phone calls.
I like it. So one thing that I think is interesting is people start out kind of as a solopreneur, right? Where they're doing everything themselves. And in our company, we've started to try to scale up, right? Where we've got more people doing different things. How has your mindset shifted from when you started and you were talking to everybody to now being a manager that's trying to get other people to hustle and is trying to get other people to get those qualified leads? How has that evolved?
It's awesome. It's awesome to empower people to do things that normally I would waste my time with, or kind of like chase the lead that always ghosts me, and it's easy now when we consider them AWOL leads. When I try to contact them several times, I don't get them. I push them into AWOL, our AWOL group on Monday.com, and then our acquisition specialist and lead specialist, they follow up with these individuals through text and phone call and so forth until they get them on the hook and send them back over to me. But it's nice. It's nice that I don't have to do all aspects. When I first started at Grayline, it was us, myself and Carlo. We were on Lead Sherpa at the time, and we were sending out all the text messages. We were getting all the qualified leads. It was like a one-man show from start to finish. So it's really nice to have like actual steps, and I think it helps in the selling process as well.
Nice. Talk a little bit more about how our process has evolved over the last 9 months or so. Maybe how the industry seems to have evolved, right? This is using technology to find real estate deals is an ever-changing landscape. So can you just kind of talk about your personal progression and the kind of the progression of the company, progression of the industry in the last 9 months from your perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started back in March of 2020 doing real estate. Prior to that, I really had no experience. So I remember receiving the first list on a Google Drive. It was just skip traced and loaded onto Google Drive, and it was just like, hey Adam, make some phone calls and find a deal, man. And at that point, we were using Zillow because, again, we had access to PropStream, but I wasn't comfortable making actual comps during that time. And we were also in the stage in our company where it was just like find deals and any way you can, right? And that still holds true, but we've become way more efficient doing so. But yeah. It started with just a list loaded, skip trace, loaded up on Google Drive, and me making phone calls with my personal number or masked it with like a Google number.
Excellent.
That quickly evolved, right? We were like, hey, proof of concept. We at least Adam can find deals. Let's get him something more efficient. And then we started with our SMS campaigns. So we started with Lead Sherpa, and then then it evolved from Lead Sherpa, again, me and Carlo sending out all the text messages, trying to find all the qualified leads. We went through a few CRMs. I think we were using InvestorFuse when we first started, and we quickly transferred over to Monday.com. It seems like we've all really enjoyed that platform. And then we started bringing VAs. And once our volume started increasing and we saw some success, right? We got a few deals in. We started scaling up super fast and started bringing in our VAs. And ever since bringing them on board, we were just able to, I don't want to use the word 10X, but we definitely increased the volume that we're doing.
I like it. Remind anyone watching, if you're enjoying this, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for us so more people can see it. Adam, what are your 2021 real estate goals?
2021. For me personally, so last year I had a goal. It was a super big goal. Like I said, I started in March of last year, no experience, and I wanted to hit $1 million in assignment fees. And I knew it would be huge for our company. And there was actually one deal specifically. We won't get into the details of that deal, but that would have catapulted me almost to $1 million. So I'm really excited to have that same goal. I'm more optimistic about it, and it's definitely achievable this time around. Where last time it was like, hey, dream big and stick with the goal, but I really think it's achievable this time around. $1 million in assignment fees for the company.
I like it a lot. And how has your January started, right? Like fourth quarter in real estate can be tough for a lot of people, and the hope is January hits and we all start rocking and rolling. How's your 2021 started?
We put a lot of effort. November, December was a little slow for the company, and we were able to kind of capitalize on that and put a lot of effort towards our 2021 and our January efforts, our February efforts. And so far, it's started off awesome. So we were able to get a couple signed contracts week 1, week 2, same thing last night, just closed on. Or just got 2 signed contracts back. I feel really, really good about this start of this year and just the way it picked up from, where we left off in 2020.
Excellent. I like it. 2 more questions. We'll end with where can people get in touch with you. But do you have any good recommendations for people if they want to learn more about this? Can you point them towards a book, towards a podcast, towards someone to follow on social media? What do you think?
Yeah, man. Well, there's one great place if you're looking to get educated in the real estate space, and that's going to be our Mastermind, of course. And again, you can find that on the link on my Instagram handle. As far as like free content, like I get a lot of my stuff from YouTube nowadays. Like YouTube University, I consume a lot of sales content through there. I'm currently studying the sales guy Cody Askin. He's kind of impressed me, but he does insurance sales. Nothing real estate related, but he's definitely really good in sales, and I think it's applicable across the board. Yeah, as far as real estate goes, there's plenty of stuff out there. I would just caution people, like there's a lot of like fake stuff out there too, real estate gurus, so just kind of like guard yourself with that. But Facebook University, great place to start.
Excellent. And then final question, where can people find you? And if you've got any parting words for us this morning.
Yeah, man. So Instagram is I'm on Instagram. So Parsons0927. That's my Instagram handle. You can find my Twitter, my Facebook, everything through there. I've got a link tree in my bio, so you can go click around on there and find all my other handles. And then, hey, I just leave you with this. It's hump day. Get after it. 2021 has been rocking awesome. And, you know, I always say, don't stop at that signed contract. That's kind of been my mindset. You know, I used to get really, really happy with a signed contract. And now it's like, great, how can I keep the momentum moving forward and kind of forget about and reset, you know, that signed contract or that number that I had.
I like it. Thank you so much for everything this morning, Adam. Really appreciate it. I think we added a lot of value. I would tell people, if you like this stuff, make sure you get on our email list. We send out deals. We send out education opportunities. We do webinars, all kinds of stuff. You got to make sure you're on our email list. So please go to graylineinvestments.com if you want to check that out so you can get on our email list and see everything we're doing. Adam, thanks for everything. Have a great day, team.